Hi, my name's Julia Crowley. I'm a sales director with Mary Kay, and I always call myself the most unlikely Mary Kay consultant because I actually said no to this opportunity for 10 years. And the reason I did so was twofold. First, I had never done any sales, so I didn't think I'd be good at something like this. And the second reason is I loved my job. I was a TV reporter and a producer, and at the time I thought people only went to Mary Kay when they were looking for a different career, and I was not. But eventually I got to a point where I was looking for a way to make extra money on the side. And that's when I realized that Mary Kay can be a side hustle on the side of a job you already love. And so what it allowed us to do is my husband and I had good incomes, but they were the same every paycheck. And we were looking for extra to pay off credit card debt, to have extra like fun expenses, to be able to go on some trips. And so I wanted to bring in extra money, but I didn't want to have another part-time job where a boss was choosing my hours and I was having to do that sort of thing. So Mary Kay gave me the ultimate choice to be able to work it when I wanted the extra money and not work it when I didn't. And that's what I did. For my first few months in Mary Kay, I worked a few hours every month or every week, and I made several $100s, and I loved it. It was extra money. It just gave us a sense of like freedom in our choices and for my husband and I in our finances. And then also, I quickly learned that although I was not a salesperson, still I am not, but what I do love is I love to share things that I find. So I love to share good recipes. I love to share good deals. And Mary Kay allowed me to do the same. So I just find products I love and I share them with other people. And that's the best way to share and sell this product. Now, that's where a lot of people thrive in Mary Kay, doing it as a side hustle in addition to a job they love. For me, that was not the full part of my story. See, a few months later, I realized the real reason why God had brought me to Mary Kay. My husband became ill overnight, and for a year and a half, until God healed him, I was his constant caregiver. We had a 1-year-old and a baby on the way, and I truly learned the importance of Mary Kay's value system, the priorities of putting faith first, family second, and career third, and to be affiliated with a company that does that and allows their people to thrive in that environment. So I truly was able to take care of my husband first and foremost and focus on our faith and our belief that God would heal him, and my business took care of itself. In fact, while I stayed with him during all those hospital visits and all that important time, I still earned my first car and became a director. And so I truly learned to love that priority system in Mary Kay. Now, a few years later in Mary Kay, about 5 years ago, I had my own medical crisis. I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and it was very fast and very aggressive. So 7 days after my diagnosis, I was in the worst kind of chemo, and I was sick every day. And 2 weeks after that, I had no hair. But it was during that I learned the importance for every household to have some source of residual income. Do you know what residual income is? This isn't like selling pots and pans or bags on the side. This is selling a product that every day washes down the sink. So I had done facials and parties with my customers, and they got started on this great skincare, and miraculously it washed down the sink every night. So about 3 months later, they would need more of it. Mary Kay Ash used to say it this way: if you work the business when you can, when you can't, it will work for you. And honestly, that has been the theme of my time in Mary Kay. In those times where I'm not in crisis, I truly work my business to the best of my ability. In fact, have done this business full time now for 10 years, and I work it as much as I can in the parameters that work for my family, because I know that there will come times when I can't work it. And my cancer diagnosis was one of those. So what happened is, while I immediately shifted focus, stopped working my Mary Kay and focused on my health and saving my life, my customers kept ordering product. It was so simple. It could be shipped right to them through Mary Kay. They could pick it up from my doorstep, and my team members, they kept working because they were not in the same crisis. So they kept working, and that allowed my income to keep coming in. Because if you work this business when you can, when you can't, it'll work for you. And it was so, one of the things I learned is that when I was in the chemo room, and there were so many different women and men in there who were fighting for their lives, but stressed about their jobs because they needed that money coming in and they needed those jobs to still be there for them. And so it's at that time that I realized how important it is for every household to have some source of residual income, because you never know when you may not be able to work that main job like you expected, that residual income could carry you. So I will say this, in the 12 years I've been in Mary Kay, I've worked it through all the different phases of life. Like my oldest son was 6 months old when I started. He's now 13 and I have 11-year-old. I've worked this through like pregnancies and illnesses. I've worked this with babies at home, with toddlers at home, staying home as a full-time mom. I've worked this with my kids in school part day. I've worked it with them in school all day. And now I'm working it with middle schoolers and going up into upper school where we are driving all the time for sports. And what I have found in my more than 12 years in Mary Kay is that the theme is that it has given my family choices. The choice to be able to be home when the kids get home from school every day. The choice to run in the middle of the day and go to their school when there's something they don't want me to miss, right? The choice to choose what income I make, that I can always make more money or that I can take time off and spend more with my family. I don't have to get approval from the boss. We get the choice to make that happen in our family. And I'm so thankful that the Mary Kay opportunity has given me those choices.